Ba-dum bum bum bum. Slap back, chat Frat. Slap back, chat Frat. Slap back, Charlie Frat. We'll slap back, Charlie Frat. We'll slap back.
Hello and welcome back to Slap Back Chat Frat. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a small hiatus, but our guests this evening are Mr. Dave White.
Hello, good evening.
Mr. Joe Butterball.
Hello.
And Mr. Dickie Fountain.
Alright.
And Russell Garnett.
Hi.
Well, wait, who are you?
Oh, and me, Dan. How's everybody doing? Are you all alright?
Well, it's a new season. I'm excited to see what the writers have got planned for us this season.
I'm so excited about this season finale. It's a truly wonderful time, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that my character's gonna develop some more in this season, if possible.
I've been hoping that your character would develop for about 33
really
years.
long time.
It's. I mean, if it hasn't happened by now, I've stopped hoping.
The thing is, it's such a rich and nuanced character.
Oh, you're so rich. A little bit goes a long way. You're very rich.
I feel like a lot of the writing is spent on me, and then I feel sorry because I can tell only 10% of the time is left on the three of you, you, and it's.
I mean, that's how thin we are. You don't even know how many other characters there are. And of
but it's
course,
good. You get some good stuff split between you. I've had a word with him, and I said, give Dave some more stuff this season. Give him some good stuff. Come on, not like last time. Pump it up.
I'm the Andrew Ridgeley to your George Michael. I'm happy with that.
I think we're all Andrew Ridgeley in a way to Russ's George Michael.
Yeah. I feel pretty damn Ridgeley right now.
we split the Andrew Ridgeley role between three of us. That's how. And
they were keen to minimise you, and I said no. Keep him in. Don't get rid of him yet. I know.
He's dead weight. Keep him on the paycheck for the love of God. He's got nothing else going. But of course, we've upped the production values for this season.
As always.
Yeah, it's like Game of Thrones. Fans tune in and go, bloody hell! Look at how real Ollie looks. That is.
I know. It's amazing.
They've just
4K Fontaine today, isn't it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to tell these animatronics.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, he's so lifelike. He's like,
it's shocking, isn't it?
What's
I'm controlling myself from
the real Fontaine died 6 years ago.
Yeah. To be honest, you might think that this is a low budget podcast, but yeah, we've just spent the whole fucking budget CGIing Ollie. So we've got no money left for the rest of us. I
can't believe we got Tom Hanks to voice him this season as well. That's brilliant.
He's done a really good job as well, old Hankaroo.
Much appreciated. No, he's very versatile.
He's nailing it.
I'm excited to have him on board. I'm sorry to see Eddie Murphy go from the last 7 seasons, but
Murphy was good, but I think Hanks just puts that little bit more finesse into it.
Yeah,
a bit more gravitas. I think you've got to Dave Fontaine.
Yeah,
definitely. What a guy!
But
yes, we're all good, man. How are you, Dan Reed?
Very well. Fully summered. Seasoned with some summering. Perfectly.
How's the holiday plans going? Are you booked up yet?
Yeah, all booked, all sorted out. So
tell the listeners.
Where are you going?
Where you're going, and how long your house will be free for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're off to America, which will be cool. I'm a bit loath to count my chickens, given my last previous America booking, but I'm
Thomas
excited.
Cook?
No, not Thomas Cook. No, but
you still taking your chickens though?
I am going to take all of my chickens. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd count them up now just to make sure that.
How many chickens have you got? Do you reckon, Dan? Pre-counting.
Pre-counting, I don't know, 15, 16, soiled away somewhere.
And you've got the passports for them, or you've got the visa waiver.
I've got the secret pocket.
The Esters.
Yeah, the Esters, yeah, or the Nesters as they're called for chickens.
Yeah. Oh wow!
I knew they should keep you, and I told those writers.
Early ton gold.
Oh, beautiful.
Thanks. To be honest, I felt like I was going down a joke cul-de-sac there. I thought, why have I brought up the chickens? That wasn't. But you've just sometimes when you're in deep, sometimes you've just got to keep digging.
Yeah, I do love that experimental stuff.
Oh, fill in the hole. Fill it. So what news? What news have we got?
Oh, too much news. What's Dave White been up to?
Oh, okay. Well, I do have a little bit of news, a bit of an interesting thing that happened to me on the weekend, which I thought we might promote a little slot.
Oh, yeah.
So on Saturday, I partook in an immersive showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So
immersive in what way, sir?
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked, because I was going to tell you anyway, but it is less awkward with you asking. So you get together, a load of people get together, they show the film, but the hall, the place where it was shown, is kind of done up to be, like the set, and you have actors playing the characters who interact with the audience in character, I was Frankenfurter. And it was a lot of fun. I really got into it, but yeah, it just got me to thinking really that what other films you guys would suggest as maybe a lot of fun to have an immersive cinema experience for.
Brokeback Mountain.
Human Centipede?
Yeah, that was good.
What were the other immersive elements of the show, Dave? So what happened on the night?
I'm never quite sure how immersive. I've not been to an immersive theatre thing. I get that they're supposed to interact with you, but walk us through kind of how it is immersive. What happens?
Okay, so for me, it was chatting to the guests, the cinema goers, before the movie started at the bar.
Hold on, but
Did you have a script?
No.
Okay.
But how did you get involved in it?
It was through an advert I saw on a website. This lady was looking for people to play the roles for this immersive cinema thing, and it's for charity, and I thought it'd be good fun. So yeah, but yeah, you just you're in character. I know the Rocky Horror Picture Show very, very well. So I was in full outfit, made up, and I was in character. So you come in and you are meeting Frank, and Frank is talking to you as Frank does with Frank's personality.
Can we get a demo of this, Dave?
A demo would be very helpful.
Right here.
Have you got the costume now with you?
It's in the wash.
You'd have to wash it after that performance.
Yeah, I need to be able to bend it. Demo. So I had a voice. Let me. God, I didn't realize you were going to put me on the spot.
So wait. Why don't we do this? So Ollie is a theatre goer. He's bought himself a ticket.
Okay. Yeah.
He's turned up with his date. First date, he's going out with Joe, and they've just arrived at the theatre. And Dave, you're about to greet them. Let's see, just so I can get a sense of it. And Dan.
Thanks,
Joe,
Russ. Thank you so much.
To come with me on this date, basically. I can't wait to get immersed. I'd want to be immersed with this experience. I want what's going to happen.
I want to go deep. I want to go so deep with you on the first date.
Well deep, mate.
I want to go
very, very ugly very soon. Oh, who's this young man here?
Oh.
Well, you both look like you're the type of people who are interested in a little bit of fun. So come up to the lab and see what's on the slab. We don't always offer hospitality to strangers, and so on. It's very difficult to just snap straight.
Very good.
Oh, Dave.
Four of
Dave,
these. And
I was deep.
back.
I was
so deep.
I went so
welling up
deep.
right now. That was that deep. Wow.
Ollie, were you as deep as I was?
I was arm deep. Right,
I felt you were both quite deep into that.
So deep into you, so deep.
Ooh, you've made just our date experience even better, Mr. Frank.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That was great.
I feel
really
like
enjoyed it.
I feel like we skipped dates, 2 to 100.
At least I feel like I've been on 100 dates now.
Yeah.
Right, let's have kids. Let's do it.
Okay, well, I'm going to have a kid, but I'm going to raise it with you now.
Sorry, Anya. I'm your new dad now.
Yeah, we're double dadding. Sorry, I've had a chat with the guys, and we're double dadding. So,
as nice as throwing me to the lions on the podcast was just there, so it got me to thinking. What movies would you like to go to see as an immersive experience?
Genuinely.
Genuinely, and how what would you expect to see, and how would you
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I was thinking Ghostbusters would be good.
For me,
because it's a fun. It's not too scary. It's fun, but with a kind of a frisson of kind of scarisness. So it's kind
like a little spooky twist.
Yeah. Like you might get something jumping out at you, but it would be a cute ghost going, So I think Ghostbusters is a good world to kind of be a part of.
I reckon so. I would like to go for Space Jam.
Oh,
yes.
Featuring Michael Jordan and the cast of, General Warner Brothers.
I would want the actual Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, actually to have Michael Jordan
as he is now, like overweight and with the Hitler moustache.
Yeah. It's a good look, Jordan.
I don't want him in his prime. I just want the actual. That would be good.
I think it would be a mistake not to see something by one of my favourite directors, Paul Verhoeven. I think he's got a great oeuvre, and Showgirls would be a great movie to put into the
that would certainly tick a lot of boxes. RoboCop.
I just watched RoboCop yesterday.
Did you?
It's a pretty special film. Yeah.
How is it in 2019?
It's
was about 12.
Fantastic. It's really good.
That's good.
You almost don't notice that he's basically just got a load of egg boxes spray painted silver.
No, it looks. Do you know what? Right, it looks really good. They it's like a model animation for Ed 209, and it's just really something.
Yeah, you don't see
really,
that now.
No, it's something. It's a real marker of time.
It's a very gory film as well, isn't it? A lot of blood and gunshots.
It's hyper realistic, isn't it? Yeah, no, I like it. It was good. I'd recommend it. RoboCop.
I thought about Goonies. Goonies would be fun.
That would be lovely. A lovely adventure. Like anything quite like Police Academy. The first few, that would be good. Or something with a little kind of bit of.
What about like Willy Wonka?
Like a Spanish language movie.
Yeah, something that you don't understand and you never will.
But then you can feel from the immersive situation.
Yeah, something like a kind of abstract, kind of impressionistic, or American Pie.
It does help with Rocky Horror being a musical. That does help because you got to remember there's a lot of audience participation in the Rocky Horror Show anyway. So to be able to get up and dance and interact with the characters, it was a shame. Unfortunately, the event didn't sell out. I think the capacity of the room was about 200, and we didn't quite get to that. We had 8 people, so we were able to really focus.
So they got a lot of attention.
Were you expecting 200 and you had 8?
Well, I was just the actor, but the organizer was a little disappointed with the turnout of 8.
How many actors were there?
Yeah, talk me through the ratio of actors to.
It was 1-to-1.
If you're a fan of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, though, as an audience member, that's brilliant.
Heaven. That's heaven, isn't it? You just made someone's heaven there.
At least you didn't outweigh the. At least it was 1-to-1. Imagine if you were the only person who turned up, and you're just 8 people on you, and you're just like, a little bit awkward. It's 8 people just all trying to fucking act at me, because everyone's there wanting to do their bit, wanting to be their part, and you just imagine how overloaded you would be as one person with 8 people just trying to act in your face.
And were they up for it, Dave? The 8 people, were they Kinos or
Well,
What was the vibe?
it was an interesting mix. You went from one end of the scale, me being a Rocky Horror fanatic, to the other end of the scale, where we had a woman who was a professional actress who, while she had seen the Rocky Horror Show, wasn't particularly inspired by the single-digit audience and didn't really get into it. Then
She had her own standards, did she? Bit hoity-toity, bit snooty.
It's not the size of the part, darling. You know.
Well, I think it's quality, not quantity, in my opinion.
You've got to when you tread the boards.
It's the number of parts you get in one night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when you
magenta.
tread the boards, you know, as we all have, you know, needless to say, you've got to go out there, even if there's a 1,000 people. Or if there's just one person who's walked into the wrong play, you give it your all.
Well, I like to think that my performance was definitely my all. And then, we also had a guy who turned up who'd never seen the Rocky Horror Show. So that was interesting.
He went straight to the deep end.
Super deep end on that one, guy.
Yeah, wow.
Did you like it?
That must have given you a lot of license to kind of ad-lib, expand your part.
So that
must have been some good conversations. So like his friends are saying, "So Rocky Horror Picture Show, you ever seen that movie?" So, nah, don't know if I like it or not. And then they're like, well, "Do you want to maybe could watch some clips on YouTube and maybe get it out of the video store, just sort of get a sense and see if you feel it a lot, or would you rather spend? I don't know. Was there money involved in this transaction for these people to turn up? Did they have to pay?"
Oh yeah, you have to pay. Yeah.
Oh boy.
What's the W's cut of that?
Any refunds or?
Maybe there should. No, I don't think they. No, I think the people that came had a really great time.
Yeah.
I think maybe the lady who organised it, and in fairness, it was the first time she'd organised anything. It was for charity. Maybe she should have perhaps got the actors together maybe a little bit before the night, just to kind of establish.
You didn't get together before the night?
No, we just turned.
Absolute shit show. What was
you guys were at the deep end too?
A couple hours before the event.
Oh, you were swimming deep. You were so deep.
Yeah.
You were in the ocean without any trunks or anything. You were a shark infested.
I was full Thatchered up. Else, fortunately, I've got all of the costume, which helps.
You were degloved in the shark infested waters.
I was debagged.
You were halfway down the Marianas Trench in full drag outfit, being dragged underneath the water as the
by your own hubris. Terrible. Oh, do you know what? I would have liked to. I mean, I would have paid. I would have paid money to come and have done that. Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah, well, I have to say, I deliberately didn't invite anybody that I knew because it would have been a lot harder for me to do that to people that I knew, to be in full character. That's the first time I've ever done that.
Are you thinking of expanding your repertoire? Are you gonna do more immersive work, more theatre work?
I would do that again. I said to the lady, if she maybe in a year's time, knowing what she knows now about publicity, marketing, getting more people to come along, because Rocky Horror is obviously a cult film.
It's a difficult thing when you first put on a play. You put it on and then you go, audience. So that for next time. It's difficult to know.
She was asking
that you have to invite people.
I think 13 quid was too much money, really. So that maybe made a difference. We had shitty weather.
Don't undersell yourselves, though. I mean, come on, you've got a lot of performers here giving it their all.
If we'd had 20, 30 people, it would have been amazing. But then, see, one of the ladies who was also one of the actresses said it was the first time she'd done anything like that. She said she would have struggled if there was more people. So, but yeah, it was a proper experience, a real experience. Yeah.
How did you feel at the end of it? Were you exhausted, or was it like?
I was, yeah, okay. I was. To basically be someone else, be a character for 2 hours is very draining. To not be able to kind of even slip back into yourself. It takes a lot of concentration.
I'm 37 years deep, Dave. You don't need to tell me. No, that sounds quality. And it wasn't filmed or anything. There's no footage or any evidence.
Please say there's footage.
I think there might be some, not from me. I'm trying to find if somebody did take any pictures or videos.
That would be a real treat.
I would love to see that.
If I get some, I will put it, obviously circulate it on the whatever we circulate things on for this.
You should get GoPros for all of you next time and just film from your perspective all the interactions with all the people.
It'd be nice to see, because like those people. I mean, I think it would be more interesting to see it from your point of view, to see like how the people are receiving Dave White going deep.
That's what I'm talking about. Literally, just like peep show style.
Yeah.
If you had been seeing it from my point of view, you would have seen some sights, actually. You would have seen me nuzzling into the massive belly of the guy who was our Brad. That would have been quite a sign. A lady with legs that were longer than my entire body, who was playing our Rocky. That would be some footage. That would be some entertaining stuff.
Sounds like this camera could get you in a load of trouble.
Well, that's the other thing.
Sexual harassment camera.
You have to be a little bit careful. I mean, you're in full character, but you're also aware that
the law is still the law.
No, that's where you're wrong. You can smoke on stage in a building because it's part of the performance. Same thing goes for every other law.
Yeah. On stage.
It's a performance. You're allowed to do anything. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the knock at the door.
So you murdered 3 women, and you've committed grand larceny, and you've pillaged a couple of growing nations, and then your defence is, well, I mean, the world is a stage.
All the people are players.
Like it.
So, well, I look forward to seeing what you do next, Dave. Seeing where this goes. I think you've got quite a performer's kind of side to you, which is going to come out.
Well, it's interesting you to say that, Joe, because I have.
Thank you very much.
Been friends with it makes a nice change. I've been friends with you guys for a long time, and you are all obviously musically very gifted, and I am not. And but I do like getting up on stage. I do like being the center of attention and to be the star of the show. I was in my element, although I was nervous. I thought maybe I will do a little bit of looking into possible. I went to a burlesque show the other night, and that is something that I've always wanted to do. I mean, you guys know that I've done a little bit of drag. Do you
have a strong view on RuPaul's Drag Race? Have you ever seen that program?
I've never actually seen it.
Mate, it's amazing. You need to see it.
I do hear it's amazing. Yeah.
Next time we meet up, Dave, why don't you tell us all about RuPaul's Drag Race?
Okay.
Could we go a step further, and could we create an application, Dave, for the RuPaul's Drag Race? Would you be able?
Because there's a UK series now.
There is a UK.
There is indeed. Yeah.
He's
we'll
coming.
probably miss the first round, but second round.
Can we just get
Davinia LeBlanca? It's her time.
Yeah, it's Davinia Lavinia LeBlanco. I have a character that I thought I might maybe get some lessons. I do know a few drag queens, so yeah.
Get some little drag tips on the go.
Oh, it sounds very good. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been bearing the lead really over the last few months. What's the big news that's occurred? We've got two people afflicted in a similar situation.
Afflicted.
No, I think you're bang on. Well, I should
ruin
probably
their lives.
Are Dave and Fontaine getting written out? Is that
they're adopting, aren't they?
Finally.
Sorry, Mr. Hanks.
They're not getting written out. They're just merging characters. So they vote individually they weren't strong enough characters. So they're,
Merge them into one.
so they're going to be Davetain.
We're
Dave.
each going to get an eighth of the screen and only be able to like talk separately.
You'll only be able to talk in pre-written catchphrases, essentially. So something like cowabunga, you know.
The most handsome and nihilistic dude you've ever met, Davetain.
Davetain.
I think there's a lot of scope for Davetain. I'd like to see him.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out somehow. We'll do it in post.
I mean, I said it as a joke, but the more I think about it, the more I don't know why you guys are individuals at all. Could you somehow go out as a, or like, you know, live your life as like electively live your life as a Siamese twin?
Would there
I
be
think we could
conflict
pull that
or would
off.
there be agreement though with Davetain? Would Davetain want to go out all night long and play the bass guitar, or
In
would
drag?
In drag. Well, there, yeah, actually, we've just because I was going to say, or go to the burlesque night, but Davetain would do both.
all of the
Do both, yeah.
But I really think that, yeah. So far, I'm seeing no drawbacks and only benefits because
Yeah. I'm sold.
every you know. So yeah, you go and see a band on stage. Oh yeah, the bass is good, but wouldn't it be better if you know, there was a bit of theatricality and some drag? Of course there would.
Drag
Of course there would.
It's
Oh yeah, I
it's
want to
a
go
new
to
thing.
immersive theatre, but what's missing is the Seinfeld theme tune. So
What's that guy drinking? Oh, it's a vodka Coke cider mix with 2 cigarettes at the same time. That's okay.
I like the suggestion that Ollie isn't camp enough on his own.
Oh, let's camp this one up, brother.
We'll work on that. We do definitely need to make a trip to Nottingham though. I do think that.
Yeah,
That's probably bad
Big old city.
timing with the. I think what Dan was alluding to, rather than an amalgamation of me and Todd.
Although, to be honest,
I didn't read the notes today.
to be honest,
sorry.
I have got a sitcom coming right now. Davetain. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Davetain in theatres 2020 in 5D.
Fully immersive Davetain.
You think you know Davetain? You will go deeper than ever before. Davetain 5D.
You think you've been deep? You think you've gone deep before? You know nothing about deep until you've been.
You're in the shallows.
And then the advertising campaign, like what they did with like Paranormal Activity, could just be like a load of handheld camera footage of people leaving the cinema going. Just like, oh my god, it was so horrific.
The smell. Oh, we didn't need that smell. Too real.
I'll never walk the same again.
Just people crawling out of the cinema, vomiting on themselves.
Best film ever.
I'll do it again. This is my 5th time.
They say each showing takes 10 years off your life. Totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, it's definitely something to consider.
But in other
What Dan
big
was
news,
alluding to,
Yeah.
I recently weatherproofed our decking, so that's good. That's good for another 5 years.
Did your
And,
father-in-law drive over from Russia to do the weathproofing? Or?
And no. No, that's why I did the weatherproofing. So he drove over. He put the
stop
deck.
him from coming over.
Well,
It's all weatherproof. Actually, you don't need to drive halfway.
I'm up in the car.
Yeah.
All right.
I just misread the tin. I thought it would. I just read it was going to prove something, and I thought it would stop him coming. But no, he still came. But no, the reason I did it was because he was coming. He put the decking in last year, and of course we were supposed to weatherproof it shortly afterwards. Well, one thing led to another, and didn't weatherproof it. Then all of a sudden, he's coming over, driving over from Russia. I've got a ticking clock, in my head. So I was, out on the decking, weatherproofing in the event. I didn't manage it, and I did it in front of him.
On your hands and knees.
On my hands and knees whilst he watched.
Is that like some sort of ancient Russian torture? It feels like a very...
It's a rite of passage.
Rite of passage in the Soviet Union.
Yeah. No, it's for so it's all part of a tradition for if you have a disappointing son-in-law, you make him do a menial task while you watch. And
cover him in oil.
Did he offer any suggestions or ways to improve the weatherproofing that you were doing?
Yeah. Well, Anya had to have strong words because he wanted to get involved and grab a brush, and she said, for the love of God, he's got so little going for him and so little self-esteem that you've got to let him have this. This is it. This is all he's got. You've got to let him paint that decking. And to be fair to him, he left the house and didn't come back. So haven't seen him
disgust?
since. Yeah, he's quit the family. Yeah, well, he actually said that my strokes were poetry. He said
those are his words.
Yeah, he said if Pushkin had painted a decking, it would have looked exactly the same. That's what he said.
When he said poetry, go on, Dave.
I was just to say, I imagine him as being some kind of Mr. Miyagi character, with you, like no, slow down, up, down.
Yeah, well, I did enter a competition.
He was training you up for the KGV.
No. It was a decking painting competition. So not quite as kind of Hollywood. But I had a few strong words with a couple of the other guys, and in the end, I crane kicked one of them in the face. So I really brought it back to
solid fourth place.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, I was disqualified, obviously, because that was very, very much not in the spirit of the day. But main thing is the decking's weatherproofed, so
just in time.
And Russ, of course, you've got some big news.
Big news, absolutely. So we've the panes under the double glazed windows at the front of the house. They've been concrete for 6 months now. So they've been they've got 3 layers of white paint on them now. So they're freshened up.
Yeah.
So
and that matches.
The panes are concrete. Surely that's difficult to see out of.
What's the thing underneath the pane? No. So it's
the window frame.
The sill?
No, there's a bit underneath the frame. It's like a concrete slab underneath frame, and then it's. Also, there might be a term for that. It's the lintel if it's above the window, but it's below the window.
The sill.
Sill?
Yeah.
Okay, so big news is that the 2 sills at the front of the house are now matching in colour to the frames. It's a solid white matte finish, and that's going to hold for 3 to 5 years.
No, that's
good.
That's
fantastic.
That's really good.
Well, so's my decking. So we should really think about revisiting this in 3 to 5 years on the podcast.
Because we'll both need to get out there and top those up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'm really glad to hear that. That's been
Funny thing is, as well, there was an incident during that where Ted, neighbour, came over and offered some assistance, and I roundhouse kicked him to the face. I just thought, I don't need it, Ted. I bought your bike off you.
That's all I need from you.
And I have actually bought a bike off him for 40 quid. But
just to
that's
shut him up.
As far as it goes. Yeah, look, I know what I'm doing here. It's been painted. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful work. Well,
so quite pleased with that. And Fontaine, your big news is, if you're happy to tell us all.
Yeah, you don't have to share it. I don't know if it's.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
It's pretty big news.
It's just gone 9 o'clock, so you can tell us.
Okay. Yeah, it's after watershed, isn't it? I'm having both your babies. That's what I'm doing.
So proud.
You're going to be a double mother, of course.
I'm a double mother. I know, right? Yeah, I know. It's gonna be
so once they come out,
wait.
they're going to be reinserted into you for another 9 months. Is that, as I understand it, it's an additional 9 months
Yeah.
It's a
really-
underdone baby.
To really develop.
We need to recondition them into perfect molds of Ollie.
Yes.
And the
And
only
now
way
you,
of doing
Dave.
that is putting them inside it.
Run
Oh, my
faster.
goodness.
And then in the meantime, of course, you and Dave are going to be merging. So really, it's going to be a whole thing. It's going to be
2020 is going to be a big year, man. It's going to
Yeah.
be
We
And
very
of
much
course-
appreciate your respective partners being our surrogates
No,
to
that's-
bring these children into the
Least
world.
they could do.
It's-
Least they could do.
absolutely. And of course, once they've both been in Ollie for 9 years or however long we're doing it,
They go over to Dave.
out comes baby Davetain. So they've merged together, and
I think 9 years should be.
and then you've got a sequel,
Yeah. Can't wait. This is going to be incredible.
little
All I
baby
want is a
Davetain.
legacy.
And they'll have their own podcast at that point. And that is when we hand over the baton.
Only 9 more years to go.
9 more years.
Just because it's already
28 more series.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I've only I only really wanted a kid so that we could do a kind of slapback chat frat kind of S Club Juniors kind of thing.
Boy Meets World type thing.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to
Back Chat Frat 7. You want to call it that?
this time it's bad. This time it's worse.
What's another youth-oriented program that we could base it around?
Biker Grove.
Yes.
I immediately thought of Biker Grove.
Okay.
In that
Slapback
we
Grove.
massively show our age.
So we call it Biker Groove.
Biker Grove.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
they both play musical instruments. These young people.
Davetain, baby Davetain.
Davetain on bikes. Yeah.
Next to a grove. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, in a grove.
Yeah, just doing BMX tricks.
I mean, they've got 9 years to work on it, so there's plenty of time. But I think
Yeah.
They
I
could
mean,
they could be the next Anton Deck.
yes.
Ooh.
A Siamese Anton Deck. There's definitely a spot for that on TV.
And that would work because there's a handsome one and there's the sort of other one as well. So that would genetically, we've got that going quite nicely.
Yeah, the classic Ant and Dec thing where one of them's super handsome. Right? I mean, that's so Ant and Dec. I mean, you've got your Hollywood Ant and Dec, whichever one it is.
You've got one of them, the really handsome one, which we know, all hair and big cheeks and glimmering skin, and then you've got the other one.
Like a
I
fucking
mean-
car crash.
Absolutely.
Human car crash.
So we could keep that going. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Dream alive. Oh.
We would need them to have an accent though, because the appeal of Ant and Dec is that Geordie accent, that lilting, lyrical Geordie
That
accent.
is a good point. What accent should we have?
I personally don't think there are enough.
because
Jamaican
strong-
would be.
people
That's
like
not
a
risky.
Jamaican
Yeah, that's
accent.
safe.
Jamaican's safe. Yeah.
Or Indian's nice, or Pakistani accent usually
Could
works out
we
quite well.
could we have one?
Well,
each?
yes, we could black them up, couldn't we? That's still acceptable, isn't it?
I think
Well,
9 years in my womb, Dave, will black anything up. So I think we're all right.
I mean, they'll come out covered in tar, basically.
It's
anyway.
carcinogenic in there. It's like a cancer oven.
Yeah.
I'm not blacked up. It's just tar. Oh dear.
But yeah, so we're working on Slapback Chat Frat, the next generation.
Juniors.
Obviously,
Juniors,
Slapback
right.
Chat Frat Juniors, yeah. So you guys need to, pull your finger out or put it in,
It's every way that works.
because we need the whole set really. So
We will need 5 of them. Yeah.
because we're gonna, to be honest, if you guys don't have kids within the next year, I'm getting rid of mine anyway. So
Yeah. I was gonna send my.
I only did it for the podcast.
I was
We
gonna,
timed it. We thought we were all doing this at the same time.
Yeah,
And
it's
now-
that classic thing of like, all right, we're all doing this. Yeah. Me and Russ bloody go
Go off, do the hard work.
get the job done.
Congratulations for getting the job
You are
done.
done.
Jack.
What you're looking at here, Dave, is 2 grafters.
Thank
Absolute
Yeah.
down
Everyday
the coal
grafter.
mine. Grafting. What I'm seeing is
You're
3.
at the coal face, please.
And what I'm looking at is 3 drifters. 3 drifters who aren't putting in a good day's work anywhere, frankly.
The
Russ,
work you've done.
Russ, can they talk the talk?
I don't think they can even walk the walk, let alone talk the talk. All I'm seeing is
Lazy.
Talk the walk.
3 people, not
3
talking,
slack-jawed
not walking.
losers walking around,
3 silent,
living
stationary losers.
the vida loca as well. May I add, living the vida loca.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have this slight kind of feeling of pride knowing that you're virile, gentlemen?
You have that feeling of pride.
Well, I don't, because I've got no evidence that I am virile. But
Oh, I thought you said I have that slight feeling of pride knowing that you're virile. I quite liked that, knowing that you were proud of me.
Well, I am actually, because it involved obviously handing over quite a lot of money on a very number of bets. But apart from that, I am delighted about your virility. But I just think, if I had created a child, that would be like, my sperm have got to go on.
I don't want to boast, but I'm like insanely virile because we didn't have sex, so it's like,
You guys didn't.
It was just a really intense stare, and all of a sudden,
it's just yeah.
Weatherproof that back garden and then
Who
bang.
who knows? I mean, apparently.
Anya was away. She went out for the night.
I had a handwritten letter through the post from the doctor saying apparently I've got 100% sperm. And don't be surprised if everyone gets pregnant. And and there we go. 3 months later.
You didn't spend any time with Anya. No need. She went off and did her own thing because you know that you're so virile that just being in the radius.
A couple of months away with
a couple months away in Ibiza. She had a bloody lovely time for what I heard.
A conference.
Relax.
Conference. Oh, she came back. She could barely walk, but. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then 6 months later, bang. Outcome.
Oh, I hope my son never sees this.
I can't wait to meet Julio when he finally pops.
Oh, dear.
Julio Mantel Meninges III.
I mean, we had a conversation about it, and I'm not having any input on the name, but but yeah, are you excited about imminent?
I'm excited about Julio Meninges III. As long as that name doesn't die out.
It will never be the first of his name.
That's funny because I did actually have not a totally similar experience, but it bears some similarities now that you mention it. And it was
what, with your overpowering virility?
Yeah, went to the doctor for a checkup, and he did the old cough and couple balls cough, and then he said, "I've seen over something like as a percentage of the population, 95% of all men, and you're in the top 0.1% of virility."
Perfect.
Do you get some kind of certificate for that?
You get a certificate for top 0.1%. Took it home, framed it,
spunked on it, stuck it up on the wall,
and I just passed that to Rachel over the dinner table.
And she was pregnant.
Made a bunch of copies, put it through the neighbours' letterboxes, just with a Polaroid of you going like that. Hashtag just say.
Population level is up by 0.5% in the last 6 months. So there we go. That's how it happens. That's how it works, as I understand it.
And I heard you were thinking about starting your own one-man sperm bank. Is that still the case?
It's already going, yeah.
So
I got
the bottles in the fridge.
No, I got it's like actually, I got an electric milk float at cost price. It was 350 quid
Yeah.
with all the milk bottles. So I've topped up half of them.
Yeah, and you've repurposed a breast
Half
pump
with mixture,
machine
half
to,
with a
just-
saline solution.
yeah.
And so every morning, 6 a.m., I'm out there. I'm, you know,
Spraying the seed.
Out there grafting.
I mean, those bottles won't fill themselves. So I'm up 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah, off to
I've
work.
got 60 litres to fill. 5 days a week. So if you three could just put in a bit more effort, I'd appreciate it.
Start the day with
Oh, I,
100 press ups and then just crack on with it. Just get on. Just every day, 6 o'clock, go to the local chemist. Just yes, another batch of another batch of burn cream, please.
And that is the birds and the bees, as far as I understand it.
Oh, eyes hurt.
Well, glad we made those announcements in a suitable fashion, so everyone's up to speed on where we're at.
Great. So we're just ready to deploy.
Ready to deploy, ready,
Yeah.
locked and loaded. Locked
Excellent.
and...
I'll keep you updated on when.
That doesn't mean I stopped working, just to clarify.
You've been working this whole
it's not over.
I've got 3 milk bottles here.
That's the thing they said about you. You never stop working, do you, Russ? You're just
Grafting,
You're
24 hours a day.
going for a jog, grafting. At the supermarket, grafting. You're just...
In the work toilet, grafting.
Someone's got to, because, you know, when you've got a dream, just to set up your own bespoke sperm bank.
Repopulate 80% of the United Kingdom.
Yeah,
That's the goal.
whether they want it or not. You know,
I've got investment to make my goals happen.
well, to begin with, you know, business starts slow. You're gonna have to cold call. You're gonna have to mail out stuff. You're gonna have to flyer. You're gonna have to send out samples. You know, you're gonna, you know,
You've got to put up billboards. You've got to do what you can do. Just anything to attract a bit of attention.
But I wanted to wait till we had the podcast to tell you. Actually, I mean, there's a lot of word of mouth. People are talking about it.
I hope so, because I've been putting in the hours.
You've been graft. I mean, that's what they've been saying.
There's
So
2 ways to
he's been
do it:
graft. He's been-
online and
he's
offline.
He's been grafting. He's making paper.
Yeah, making it rain. And I won't stop until there's none left.
You're a hero. I mean,
If the OBE comes through first, I'll take that. But otherwise, I'll continue on my mission.
I
Yeah.
think you'll come first, Russ.
I mean, through the pain.
Uh,
I mean,
did
you've gone through the pain barrier.
went through that weeks ago. So, do we have any further news? Is that most of the news?
That's all
Company
the
B
news.
album.
Personal announcements, Dave.
Ah, yes, Company B album. Yeah,
Yes.
big news. Yeah,
Big.
I've been putting it on repeat to
Thank
up
you very
the
much.
the
Crank
hits.
up the millions. Yeah,
It's a treat. It is a treat. It's a good one.
yeah, it's a thing. It's done. Did it. Finished it. Happy. Well, finished it.
And do you take a Woody Allen approach to your
Always.
work, Dan?
in every way.
Ensure that every under 18-year-old on the project is molested. But secondly, once the thing has been completed.
Hang on, that's the lawyers on the phone.
yeah. The answer is no.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly, you never watch the thing again. Once the movie or the album has been put out into the world, That's it. You have no interest in it anymore. It's your child, your baby. And it's gone. It's now the world's.
It sounds like that's the approach to your business model as well.
I have listened to it since, but I don't listen to it now particularly. But
so you do subscribe to the Woody Allen approach.
Well, I guess a little bit. I have listened to it since it's come out though, but mostly just because there's a morbid curiosity, isn't there, of your perception, how your perception changes of something. Yeah.
Imagine it's like watching yourself have sex.
Yeah.
Do you imagine? Is that...
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of.
You find things out about yourself that you didn't fully know.
Well, when you're recording your vocals, you definitely record stuff that you didn't realise you did as a singer. That's quite weird. Not being aware of like idiosyncratic things that your nature of your style. That's quite odd. But yeah.
Are you talking about the sex or the album at this point?
Well, just like for me, I just noticed stuff in my singing that I would just never have assumed I did. So you have to listen to it.
A lot of growling.
A lot of growling. Whimpering and yeah.
Primal pain.
A lot of heavy breathing. I mean, barely any singing, weirdly. But
well, I was trying to. It was a concept album.
They had to cut up kind of like milliseconds of your growling and like stitch them together to make words and melodies.
Yeah, that's how all of my audio's done, actually.
You just go. Okay.
Have we got a take? Is that a take yet? No, not yet. Yeah, it did take a long time. Yeah, it's done. I'm all...
It's a cracking album.
It's
on heavy. It's on heavy rotation.
Good. Good.
During my working hours,
Excellent. Everyone bought a CD, obviously.
Oh, I didn't realise there was CDs.
That's good. That's our marketing strategy, actually, Dave.
Just secret
market. Yeah. No. So it is available. You can find it in some places for sure. Yeah. We're gonna go and sell it in HMV. In fact, just outside. We'll just stand outside.
What do you get anything from Spotify? What do they give you?
Yeah, let's break down the numbers first, Dan.
I don't know, to be honest. Spotify's like you need to like have like about 100,000 views, don't you, to get a paid any kind of living for it if you're any band bigger than 2 people.
Yeah, I mean, well, we should get Chris Stoneman on as the Spotify correspondent and find out. Just very quickly to say, because I need to go in a second, but I just wanted to say Paul McCartney news.
Oh yeah. He's looking well.
He's looking well. That's him with Heather Mills. I like his little face there.
It's a great one.
Oh, it's nice, isn't it?
Thumb up. Nicely. He's got a book out. Hey, Granddude.
Yeah.
So, children's book. So
great title.
Buy that.
That's
all I wanted to say on that, really.
We'll catch up on Paul McCartney news next time because we've given it short shrift, and I know there are a lot of viewers who are it's the main reason they tune in.
Anything they come in.
There's some big news as well, actually. Well, we'll trail that.
I mean,
big Paul McCartney news. Tune in next time.
Absolutely. And
cool.
let me
get hold of
All
us.
right. Let's wrap.
I don't want
up.
to tease too much, but there's going to be some Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney collaborative discussion next time round.
Whoa.
Don't want to give too much away, but Paul McCartney's going to play on Ringo's album, and it's a John Lennon song. So tune in for further news.
Very nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
There's nothing else to give away. That's it.
All right.
Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, nice one. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Dave White.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Mr. Russell Garnett, Mr. Dickie Fontaine, Mr. Joe Butterball.
Bye-bye.
I've been Dan Reed. Good evening. We'll see you again. Cheerio.
Bye.
Slapback Chat Frat.